Hello, folks. Very good afternoon. How are you doing? How's the preparation? Okay. Instead of saying that anything else, I'll just say that still then more than 50 days left for CAT, and if you still put in few minutes a day, then you will see a lot of transformation in your performance CAT, right? So. Uh, People who are thinking that okay, we have not studied thus far, or we have not been able to study because of COVID stress or mood issues or other problems, or any other problems. Still, if you're watching me, if you're listening to me, I think that in 50 days you can really do something which people have not done in CAT thus far. Because I think it is possible. Just that you have to be told the right steps to do it. That is how it is. Just making sure that I'm online properly. So yeah, uh, this is how it is. If you still do hard work, you can better. Also, like I said, keep writing sectional test and topic wise test series, improve your scores. At the same time, uh, CAT reading comprehension 2026. So this is a 26 class. Lot of pride, I can say that. Today is what, Thursday, right? Yeah. So this is this should have been yesterday because I wanted to start the class from Monday onwards, Monday to Friday, but I changed the timing to meet your timings, basically. So this is how it is. So 26 class, and so to 26 class we have done a lot of live RC uh, solutions. We have solved many uh, classic reading comprehensions. We have done things, many lot of insights we have given, lot of discussions we have done, but at the same time, for last 14 sessions we have been focused on that actual reading comprehensions. This is mostly a revision class wherein we will discuss things we have discussed earlier, make them make you more confident and more stronger in those areas. This, if you see, this is the Unacademy Just Cat. This is your Telegram channel, basically. So you can find us on Telegram. I'll also try and put the link in the description. That directly go and click there. So this is how it is. And follow us on Telegram. Like, subscribe, and share. Like it. My name is Anupam. Know me very well. Stay in touch. Download and install on Academy app. Like I said, there are a lot of free things which we offer on uh, Academy app. Um, some of those are, there are free live classes. Like yesterday, I was having this amazing odd one out cat odd one out class on Academy app. It was a free special class, live class. We have so many quizzes also which are free. Those are free things, and they get recorded and they get stored forever. So you go back and you can look at them n number of times. At the same time, you have we've got this YouTube classes, of course, which are free, and you can come and you can refer to them n number of time after the classes have. Um, but at the same time, there are a lot of things which only subscribed content can give you, which is your test series, your analysis of test series, your insights into your weak areas and a strong area, insights into certain patterns in which you're making, helping you understand the patterns, helping you analyze your mistakes. You get to interact with educators, you get live doubt clearing sessions with them. So in that way, those things can be taken care of. So I think in investing into an academy is an amazing you can say investment you can do into a future, most secure investment which you can do into your future. So yeah, don't turn on the fan because these green screens fall down, and the sound will also affect your voice there. So basically, the thing is that key in so we have got this model in which 24 out of for 24 months we charge 18,900 and 15 for 24 months, and for 24 months we charge 18,900. We used a code Saxena10 to get 10% discount. No cost AMI is available for 6 months subscription. Coming to the RC, if you have any questions, please ask me here. I hope I can see the question. Let's see, please put them on the chat. I'll make sure I can see. Okay, let's try and start solving the pretty much everybody pretty much agrees that the relationship between elephants and people has dramatically changed. In quotes that there's a change, and everybody agrees means that it's a general fact that that people know this fact that elephants and people have changed. Why this changes happened? That is a question. And this is what this entire passage is all about. Where for centuries humans and elephants lived in relatively peaceful coexistence, there is now hostility and violence. So change in that earlier this was not the case. Earlier humans and elephants were having peaceful coexistence, but now there is enmity, there is bad blood, lack of trust, okay, hatred and violence. Now I use the term violence because of the intentionality associated with it, both in the aggression of humans and at times the recently observed behavior of elephants. So they're saying that that relationship between humans and elephants has become very strained, and there is enmity and bad blood. And you can see that when I use the word enmity, I mean that there is violence because there is intentionality associated with it. When you see, if like if a dog finds, or if a cow or an ox, stray cows, stray animals, they find that in any way you are a danger to them, they might charge at you, they may bark at you, they may do an action of one kind or the other to repel you away from their area, or that movement, make them feel secured, or make their younger ones, or their other members of the group feel secure. And but here it's saying that there is difference in that, because there is an intention of harming others. It's violence. So the motivation is not immediate safety. The motivation is satisfying the emotion or the feeling of enmity, a grudge against each other. There is an intentionality to it. Like I said, use the word has become very strained, and there is enmity and bad blood. Typically, elephant researchers have cited as a cause of aggression the high level of testosterone in newly matured male elephants, or competition for land and resources between elephants and human beings. What they're saying is that there is that in a traditional format, uh, in the way the research was done for many years in past, it was thought that the aggression in male elephants is due to the high level of testosterone. That's a male hormone level. You will also, if you have read any of these shikari novels, or shikari not novels but shikari experiences, if you have if you read Jim Corbett, and if you have read Kenneth and Anderson, or Jim Corbett, or any other shikari, or the hunting experiences and the wildlife experiences, you'll get to know that there is this thing what they call as must, musth, must, like we say must in Hindi. So in they should say must, musth. It's used in in the British lingo also, which means that the hormone level in the male elephants is too high that they lose the ability to understand and to react in a way that they're supposed to react, or understand things the way they are. They lose their ability because of the hormone level being so high, and that's a period when they mate. So it was thought earlier, okay, or there was some say and there was one more reason, that there is some conflict between animals, like the human and the wildlife conflict, the age-old conflict of land, of resources. Bradshaw and several colleagues argue that today's elephant population are suffering from a chronic stress. So Bradshaw and the researcher Bradshaw is saying that though we have in past understood that this behavior is related to the high hormone level in the mature elephants, and for the age old very ancient and thus far continuing conflict between wildlife and human beings for land resources, but it's not related to violence. There is, like I said, uh, there was no enmity, there was no bad blood. Whatever it was an instantaneous response to, say, to an action, which was also equally uh, spontaneous in nature. Bradshaw and Sepulchre argue that today's elephants and elephant populations are suffering from a chronic stress, a kind of species-wide trauma. Decades of poaching, culling, and habitat loss, they claim, have so disputed the intricate web of, of familial and societal relations by which young elephants have traditionally been raised in the wild. Okay, they're saying that there is stress and there is trauma in the entire elephant species. At the same time, because of poaching and culling, the web of the family structure of elephants, that has been destroyed, and because of which we are witnessing a collapse of the elephant culture. There's a collapse in the elephant culture. One. Here comes the idea that the new research says that elephants have suffering from a from emotional from emotional disturbance or distress due to um various various activities of humans, violent activities of that have led to disruption in the family life of the social life. They use the word precipitous collapse. Precipitous means very steep collapse, like the very that the culture, the see culture is not only dance, music, poetry, theater, festivals. Culture is about how one would solve a problem, how a particular species would react to a certain event. How will they graze? How will they move? How will they, if they are carnivorous, how will they hunt? How will they migrate? How will they procreate? How will they react to a threat or danger? So culture is not only related to some art of one or the other form of art. It is culture is evident in very simple actions which every species does for their survival in their everyday life. It says that the new research says that elephants are suffering from emotional disturbance or distress due to various violent activities of humans that have led to disruption in the social life of elephants. Next says elephant left to their own devices. It says elephants left to their own devices are profoundly social creatures. Young elephants are raised within an extended multi-tiered network of doting female caregivers that includes birth mother, grandmothers, aunts, and friends. These relations are maintained over a lifespan as long as 70 years. So you can sense that amount of social interaction, the amount of care, or the amount of relationship or the connection at various level, which a young child, until unless the young child develops into an adult, and then to an old elephant, to 70 years these relations continue, right? Studies of established herds have shown that young elephants stay within 15 feet of their mothers for nearly all of their first 8 years of life, after which young females are socialized into the matriarchal network, while young males go off for a time into an all-male social group before coming back into the fold as mature adults. Now, what they're trying to say that elephants are, so you can also see that, if you can sense from whatever is written, you can also infer this, that the way elephants are behaving with their near and dear ones, with their caregivers, with their family members, with their aunts and grandmothers, is it almost not like humans? It is in fact, to some extent, it is better than humans, because for 8 years the child doesn't leave the mother. A human child can be taken away for a day or two by the relatives, if he or she is 4 to 6 years old, 7 8 years old. Can be taken to some other house, or some relative's house, and they can again come back to an aunt's or to an uncle's house, and for a day or two they can stay. Then after that they will start feeling ki meri mummy, where's my mummy, where's my papa? But if you just don't extrapolate too much, but if you just understand, that means elephants are extremely social people. The upbringing, how they're raised, it is extremely dependent upon their social fabric, their social life, right? And after that also, they are again sort of trained into their to little to give them the finer grooming for their adult life. They are also sent into matriarchal and patriarchal, the all male social groups, and males are sent to all male social group and females are sent to uh, the matriarchal networks, and then they come back. So elephants, you can say, elephants have a naturally so um, um, elephants have a very intricate, very use the word intricate in a simple way. They have a very they have deep connections within their groups from a very young age, and these interactions play an important role in their bringing. So naturally, elephants have deep connections within the groups, within their group from a very young age, and these interactions play an important role in their upbringing. This fabric, which fabric? This fabric which you were referring to, right? They have very deep connections within the groups from a very young age, and these interactions play an important role in their upbringing. So the fabric of elephant so society, Bradshaw and her colleagues. So Bradshaw, we know now that she's a lady. That Bradshaw, that Miss or Mrs. Bradshaw, the this fabric of an elephant society, Bradshaw and her colleagues, has effectively been frayed by years of habitat loss and poaching, along with systematic culling by government agencies to control elephant numbers and translocation of herds to different habitats. As a result of such social upheavals, calves are now being born to and raised by even younger and inexperienced mother. Young orphan elephants, meanwhile, that have witnessed the death of a parent at the hands of poachers, are coming of age in the absence of support system that defines traditional elephant life. The loss of elephant elders, Bradshaw says, and the traumatic experience of witnessing massacres of their family impairs normal brain development in young elephants. So it says that like I said, violent actions part of humans um results of being raised by inexperienced by younger mothers, by younger caregivers, and witnessing the violence by humans has negatively impacted the brain and behavior development. So violent actions on part of humans results of being raised by younger um, being raised by younger caregivers and witnessing the violence uh, by humans has negatively impacted the and brain and behavior development of elephants. What Bradshaw and her colleague what Bradshaw and her colleague describe, which seemed to be an extreme form of anthropocentric uh, conjecture. Anthropocentric means, when we anthrop actually anthrop means human beings basically. Uh, so, so what is saying that that whatever they've said, it appears so all these patterns, things, they are human behavior patterns, right? Humans behave in this way. So the author says that what Bradshaw and her colleagues describe, which seem to be an extreme form of anthropocentric conjecture. Anthropocentric means when we look at things from a human behavior or human civilization standpoint. And what is conjecture? We are sort of we are assuming that whatever elephants are going through, we are connecting to what humans would have done if similar events would have happened on them, or similar effects or similar problems would have been faced by them. So this basically this parallelism is incorrect. It would have been the case if the evidence they have compiled, so this is not the case. Why? Because there is evidence. They have done the research properly, evidence that they have compiled from various elephant researchers was very compelling, that it would have become an assumption only if it were not for the data which these Mrs. or Mrs. Bradshaw colleague and she has compiled. So the data is amazingly good. The elephants of decimated herds mean the herds which have been killed, they've been murdered. Especially orphans who watch the death of their parents and elders from poaching and culling exhibit behavior typically associated with post-traumatic stress disorder and other trauma related disorders in humans. Abnormal startle response, unpredictable asocial behavior, and inattentive mothering and hyperaggression. So they're saying that the data suggests that orphaned elephants who have seen their family being murdered, being killed, like being killed, exhibit behavior typically associated with post traumatic disorder. Post traumatic stress disorder. Okay. Then comes the idea that elephants are suffering or behaving in the same way that we recognize in ourselves as a result of violence. So when violence happens, how humans behave, similar things they are behaving, that there is aggression, there is loss of uh, uh, attention, and there is certain unpredictability to their behavior, right? Like if there is a if there's a danger, or if there's some object or some other species they encounter, where the responses used to be milder or less violent, those you know or if a species is at a distance and it's not in directly in the path of the movement, generally they will avoid going to the species or avoid talking to the species or interacting. It is not the case. They might engage in a fight in which for which they have like there's no stake there, like they're all right without it, but still they take up. Remember why? Because there is now enmity. So now they are sets now from an emotional standpoint, because they're aggrieved, they have grievances which they cannot put across in a court of law, which they cannot come and fight against. There is certain amount of angst in them, which they want to satisfy uh, by acting in this brutal manner. Elephants are suffering and behaving in the same ways that we recognize in ourselves as a result of violence, except perhaps for a few specific features, brain specific features, brain organization, and early development of elephants and humans are extremely similar. Are uh, similar to human beings with respect to the brain development, the with respect to brain behavior, and are displaying symptoms and display symptoms similar to us. Violence. When face violence. Say that elephants are similar to human beings with respect to uh, brain and behavior, uh, development with respect to development of brain and behavior. Um, they display symptoms similar to us when they face. Which of the following measures is Mr. Miss? It should be not Mr. because they have said her colleague, Miss or Mrs. Bradshaw, most likely to support to address the problems of elephants. What are going to be measures? What do people think? What will be the measures? One is very clear that obviously she will say that that the violence is happening, the violence which should stop. But what are the other things which she will say? That is so very much there. There's a problem of elephant aggression. What will be other things? Acha, let me just ask you, what is the common theme? What is the central idea of this paragraph, of this entire passage? What is the primary purpose? Let's read the summaries with all the paragraphs. Tell what is the central idea and the primary purpose. Relationship between humans and elephants has become very strained and there is enmity and bad blood between them. The new research says that elephants are suffering from emotional disturbance or distress due to various violent activities of humans that have led to the disruption in the social life of elephants. Naturally, elephants have deep connections. Uh, Naturally, elephants have deep connections with within their groups from a very young age, and these interactions play an important role in their upbringing. These interactions play an important role in their upbringing. Violent actions on part of humans uh, being raised by younger caregivers and wit and and witnessing the violence by human beings has negatively impacted brain and behavior development of elephants. Data suggests that often elephants who have seen their family being killed exhibit behavior typically associated with post-traumatic stress disorder. Elephants are similar to human beings with respect to development of brain and behavior. They display symptoms similar to us in the face when they are, you can say, victims of violence. Witness violence or are its victim. So what is the central idea? Central idea is that because of the human actions, the social life and because of actions of humans, the social life has been destroyed, because of which elephants are not being raised the way they were being raised. Secondly, those of them who have witnessed violence, they are displaying signs of symptoms of emotional uh, disturbance and stress, similar to the human beings. Okay? And their brain development and the structure of the brain and the the way they behave in terms of is same. So this is a central idea. What is the primary purpose? Primary purpose is to understand the reasons behind the recent collapse between uh, the recent collapse of the relationship between the human beings and the elephant, and to look at it from a mental health standpoint, and somewhere draw a parallel between humans and elephants. So don't you think that measures of Miss or Mrs. Bradshaw, they will be somewhere related to the emotional problems what are faced by elephants? So one of them can be, of course, can be that that the human animal conflict should reduce, culling of elephant should reduce, violence against elephants should stop. That is one problem. But at the same time, some the trying and understanding how we can manage, how we can work with elephants to reduce the stress which they're facing, in similar way when what we do with human beings. In human beings, when they're going through certain emotional crisis, so maybe this either of these two can be the. So we are just, by reading the paragraph, we are by the passage, central idea, primary purpose, we are assuming what can be the options. Look at the options. The development of treatment programs for elephant, drawing on insights gained from treating post-stress disorder in humans. Yeah. So treatment programs for elephants which are based on the insights from the treating post-traumatic stress in orders in human beings. This is the right answer, but still read further. Increase funding for research into the similarity of humans and other animals, drawing on insights gained from human herd similarities. So how will the increased funding between the similarities of in other animals help the cause of human elephant conflict? How will it help? Also, funding may or may not help, right? Because funding was never a problem here, which was discussed. This is, again, it is irrelevant. Because why? Into other animals. So it is nowhere related to elephants. So it is not the problem is of elephant aggression. So it is very far away of it is not directly impacting the problem. Third says the funding of more studies to better understand the impact of testosterone on human elephant aggression. So this has been said in the very beginning in the second paragraph, that this theory that test testosterone, the male hormone, the male sex hormone, is the reason that had been debunked very earlier itself. This was the old understanding which was sort of given away, that it says that typically elephant researchers have cited as a cause of aggression the high level of testosterone in newly matured male elephants, or the even that was not the that was also one of the reasons. The other reasons was there was competition for land and resources between humans and uh, elephants. So but there's the new research says that there is emotional disturbance and stress due to various violent activities of humans that have led to uh, disruption in the social life of elephants. This was nowhere mentioned. Funding, and also funding will impact. This is also very far off from the solution. Irrelevant. Fourth says studying the impact of isolating elephant calves on their early brain development, behavior, and aggression. Studying the impact of isolating elephant calves impact of isolating elephant calves on their early brain development, understood that what impact will isolation have on brain development, behavior, and aggression. So we are talking not only about isolation, we're talking um about them. So one, that we are not talking about isolation, we're saying that this, that of course isolation is a part of it, but what has happened that the family life has sort of has been impacted, the social life has been impacted, because of which they are not being raised the way they were being raised earlier. Like the elephants were raised in a very complex and intricate and a very, there were so many caregivers who were very mature, grandmothers and aunts, senior female caregivers were there. That is not happening, one. And second is that they are seeing violence, they are observing violence of their family members, of their elders mostly, right? Because of the tusk, because of the, because probably the hunters or the poachers, they keep them because probably they don't, younger elephants don't have the trunks or the ivory basically, and for other reasons, possibly that they're young, they will grow and then they will grow and then they will kill them uh, for their ivory. And there are movies also, if you see in recent past also, the movies have come last year on human uh, elephant conflict, and then there are old movies also of 70s 80s are been made on the human and animal relationship. This is again irrelevant. Also, the theme, the needle of this passage was moving in the direction of that how human and elephant responses to violence, responses to stress, they are same, and how they can be used, whatever has been seen in humans, how it can be used. There's a possibility of being used on. That was the entire agenda. Second says that in paragraph 4, the fabric of elephant society has been frayed is. The phrase the fabric of elephant society has effectively been frayed is. Let's look at the options. A metaphor for the effect of human activity on elephant communities. So when you say fabric of elephant so society, so fabric means the interaction between the human beings. So fabric is actually, it's a metaphor. It is a reference. It is a technique used to provide a view, provide a perspective into as to how the relationship between elephant society existed. So it was a fabric, it was a mesh wherein each individual, as in a fabric, each cell will have relationships to every other cell or every other smaller element or the basic element of it. So in a similar way, elephants also had relationships with everybody else in the society. So it's a metaphor for the effect of human activity on elephant communities. And an exaggeration aimed at bolstering Bradshaw's claim. So nowhere we have seen that the author had been the tone of the author was nowhere of the way in which the author was questioning the claims of Bradshaw, of Miss or Mrs. Bradshaw. The author was completely agreeing with whatever the research was saying. So why will the author try and exaggerate and use something? It was nowhere mentioned. Also, we can understand by reading the paragraph. Also, we can go to this particular line. Yeah. So here we said no, that naturally elephants have deep connections within the groups. From a young age, these interactions play an important role in their upbringing. Then comes next line, that immediately after this comes this line, that this fabric of elephant society, Bradshaw and her colleagues demonstrate, has effectively been frayed by the years of habitat loss and poaching, along with systematic culling by government agencies to control government elephant numbers and translocation of herds to different habitat. Okay. We can read this part also, violent actions on humans being raised, a part of humans being raised by factors such as violent actions on part of humans being raised by younger caregivers, and witnessing the violence by human beings has negatively impacted the brain and behavior development of elephants. This is not an exaggeration. It was a metaphor used to also 3 looks correct, but it is also not correct. Why? An accurate description of conditions of elephant herds, um, an accurate description of elephants, of the condition of elephant herds. So basically, accurate description of condition of elephant herds is not correct, because they are not talking about only on the condition of, of the elephant herds, but they're talking about what effect human activity has had on these herds. They're not only talking about the conditions of herds, but what effect human behavior has had on the elephant herd. So that is the concern here. So this is again incomplete, basically. Okay, if they had mentioned that it is an accurate description of the conditions of the elephant herds today because of the violent actions of human beings, then this option would have been as good as option number 1. But they have not mentioned the other part. That what is the part? Frayed by human activity. Fabric of elephant society has been destroyed by the human activity. This is incomplete. 4 says an ode to the fragility of elephant society. Ode is it's a sad poem. It's a poem written uh, to something which is no longer present, or it's basically a poet laments. The poet is a little sad. It's something which is doesn't exist now. So it is not an ode to it. It's not it. It's just a metaphor. It's just a reference. So by using the word fabric, it has he or she has used, and they have written accurately here. No, human activity, effect of human activity on elephant communities. So this is what it was talking about, right? Even if you don't understand the meaning of the word metaphor, still you can understand that this is the correct answer, right? An ode to the fragility. This is again irrelevant, incorrect. Why? Because we were not talking about that elephant society has become fragile, but we're talking about that elephant society has become like this because of human behavior. Which of the following statements best describes the overall argument of the passage? Which of the following statements best describes the overall argument of this passage? So what was the overall argument of the passage? The overall argument of the passage was that let's try and read the options. The brain development and early brain organization and early development of elephants and human beings are extremely similar. Yeah, this is correct, but we don't know the answer. Let's see. The relationship between elephants and humans has changed from one of coexistence to one of host hostility. The recent human elephant behavior could be understood as a form of species-wide trauma-related response. And elephants, like humans, they are in conflict with, are profoundly social. Social creatures is a part of the story, right? This is a smaller part of the story. What was the what? Remember what was the primary purpose? The primary purpose is to tell that there is conflict between humans and elephants. There is there is a lot of how can we say there is stress and emotional stress in elephants, which is due to poaching, due to killing, due to their social life being destroyed. They're not being raised properly, and the behavior responses same as humans, and the development of brain is same. So a smaller part of the story. This is not the third says recent elephant behavior could be understood as a form of species-wise trauma-rated response. This is again a part of the story, not complete part of the story. Part of the story. The relationship between humans and elephants, again, it's a part of the story. Okay, let's first try and solve the other questions here. Let's try and solve the other questions here. Let's come back to this question. I'm having a little doubt here. Sorry for that, but sometimes these questions pose problems. Let's try and go to the first. In the first paragraph, Bradshaw uses the term violence to describe recent change in human-elephant relationship, because according to him, uses the term violence to describe a recent relationship, describe the recent change in human relationship, because according to him, so if we go here, it says that relationship between humans and elephants has become very strained, and there is enmity and bad blood between them. So there is, you can say that it says that where for centuries humans and elephants lived in relatively peaceful coexistence, there is hostility and violence. And now I use the term violence because because of the intentionality associated with it. There is some sort of an intentionality associated with it. One says there is a purposefulness in human and elephant aggression towards each other. Yeah, this is the right answer. There's a purposefulness. Two says both humans and elephants have killed members of each other's species. No, this is not. This is irrelevant. There was some intentionality because there is now enmity and bad blood. So they are not responding like safe, like I said that when you enter into the zone of a say tiger will only then the tiger will attack you, or it will maul you, or it will hit you, but tiger will not on its own accord come to a human colony, sort of bother you because there is some sort of enmity or angst against it. But what is happening, because in elephants, because of certain trauma which they're going through, because of the behavior, because of the human actions, the the brain development problems basically. That is a result that there is now. So in the first paragraph, Bradshaw uses the term violence to describe the race. So this is again irrelevant. Third says human-elephant interactions have changed their character over time. This is again irrelevant. Violence we're talking about, we're not talking about the character of it, or it's again a very diluted term. It's not directly referring to the problem. That there is a purposefulness in aggression. There is aggression is not spontaneous, it is planned. It is having a deeper emotion of violence, of revenge. I can feel there's revenge in it. Elephant, there's anger somewhere. The elephant herds and their habitat have been systematically destroyed by human beings. Elephant herds and their habitat. No, this is again not, because violence is in human elephant relationship they're talking about, not what has been done by humans to elephant herds. So this is again irrelevant. If says the passage makes all of the following claims except the passage makes all of the following claims except human actions such as poaching and culling have created stressful conditions for elephant communities. True. Elephants' response to deeply disturbing experiences is similar to that of humans. Elephants' response to deeply disturbing experiences, yeah, that has been said, that the way elephants react to human is the same. So correct with respect to elephant mothers are evolving newer ways. No, elephant mothers are evolving newer ways of rearing their calves. Incorrect. Fourth says elephants establish extended and enduring familial relationships as do human beings. Yeah, so this has been said in the paragraph in which we're talking about how they're raised, that they have relationships with their aunts, with their uncles, with the patriarchal circle, matriarchal circle, caregivers, grandmothers, senior female caregivers apart from the mothers, like humans are raised in a joint family system. So elephants establish extended. So this is again correct with respect to the Let's read all the summaries whatever you made once more. Relationship between humans and elephants have become very strained, and there is enmity and bad blood between them. New research says that elephants are suffering from emotional disturbance or stress due to various violent activities of humans that have led to disruptions in the social life of to social life of elephants, including the way they are supposed to be raised. Next comes elephant left to their own devices are profoundly social creatures. Young elephants are raised within an extended and multi-layered network of doting female caregivers that includes birth mother, grandmother, aunts, and friends. Uh, naturally, elephants have deep connections within the groups from very young age, and these interactions play an important role in their upbringing. Okay, then they say that fabric of elephant society has been frayed due to habitat loss, poaching, and control of elephant numbers by government. There is social upheaval. Calves are now born to raised by younger, inexperienced mother. Young orphaned elephants, meanwhile, have witnessed death of parents at the hands of poachers. Or a parent in the age of absence of support system that defines traditional elephant life and lost elephant elders and traumatic experiences of witnessing the massacres of their family impairs normal brain development in young. So say that so factors such as violent actions on part of humans being raised by younger caregivers and witnessing the violence by humans uh, has on their elders by humans has negatively impacted the brain and behavior development of elephants. Data suggests that often elephants who have seen their family being killed exhibit behavior typically associated with post-stress traumatic disorder in humans. Okay, what Bradshaw and colleague would describes to be an extreme form of anthropocentric conjecture if the evidence that they had compiled from various elephant researchers weren't so compelling. Elephants of decimated herds, especially orphans who have watched the deaths of the parents and elders, exhibit behavior typically associated with the post-traumatic stress disorder and other trauma-related disorders in humans, abnormal startle response, unstable asocial behavior, and inattentive motor and hyper. Elephants are suffering and behaving in the same ways that we recognize in ourselves as a result of violence, except perhaps for a few specific features. The brain organization and early development of elephants. Elephants are suffering and behaving in the same way we recognize ourselves. Elephants are similar to human beings with respect to development of brain and behavior. They display similar uh, symptoms when they witness to violence or uh, when they are either witness to violence or its victims. Grammatically correct, right? So naturally, we will try to improve our grammar also by doing all. So I think the answer is three of is one only. Uh, that brain organization and early development of elephants and humans are extremely similar. C is it says that the recent elephant behavior could be understood as a form of species-wide trauma-related response. Okay, yeah, this is right because we are talking from a mental health standpoint. Sorry, I got a little confused here. the main point was not that brain is same. The main point was that there is a one of the parts of the story that the all the other answers are correct. I sort of got confused in the third because in such a long discussion. So yeah, so this was said time and again that there is a stress in the entire elephant race because of the trauma which they have faced, and that is the main aim and main story behind the entire recent other things like profoundly social creatures. Elephants are social creatures. Relationships have changed from existence to coexistence to hostility. Our brain and early development of humans and are similar. This is just a part of the story. There is a species wide trauma, and that is what they're going. Main thing, yeah, which was what was the main thread connecting all of these. So how do you not make mistake which I've made is that you sort of what is the common theme? The common theme was that there is distress among them. There is due to various actions they're going through emotional trauma, and their family life has been destroyed from mental and brain uh, development standpoint. They are facing certain challenges, and those challenges be understood. And then with respect to they witness the killing of their seniors, the killing witness of their elders, then they display those symptoms of violence, which humans display symptoms when they face violence. Also, when they're being raised, they are being raised by younger caregivers, right? And they're the kind of brain development which should happen because of the intricate web that has not been happening. So this entire thing is causing trouble for them. They are witnessing, and this the reason that they are exhibiting violence, right? So which answers the line number 3. Recent elephant behavior could be understood as a form of speech related. That's all for now. I think it's 1.5 hours, very long session. Glassy. So yes, please subscribe to An Academy. Go to use live classes, interact with the educator, live polls, leaderboard, test series, and analysis, and have live doubt clearing as well. And utilize them. This will be a good investment for your future. You will end up in a could be school, and even if you're starting now, your scores can improve tremendously if you work hard. All right. So that's for now. I use the code Saxena10 to get 10% discount. Okay. Catch up tomorrow 9 a.m. in the verbal ability class.